Hello everybody. On July 6th, I financed a brand new 2019 Nissan Sentra. I drove it off the lot at 11 miles. My previous car I got at the last weekend of March 2019 at 72,000 miles. And I traded that previous car in at 162,500 miles. So I'll let you do the math. It was a 2009 Toyota Corolla LE. This is a 2019 Nissan Sentra base model. I'm going to review it. It's at about 1,900 miles, and I'll show you the exact odometer when we get in. First, I want to do an exterior view. I'm in selfie mode, and we're going to go for a little bit of a drive. So this video might be split up because I might have to turn off the camera, then turn it back on. So I'm going to turn this video around. So I'm hoping you can see everything. The back seat, good space. I'm gonna get in here. So as you can see, good adequate leg room. The seat belts, work well. So, obviously it keeps you in well enough, which is the purpose of seatbelts. But the back seatbelts, depending on how fast, situation you might, be in. But again, adequate, good leg room. Like, I'm 5'6", 5'7", so, yeah. Let's take good trunk space. The front seat sits nicely too. I'm gonna review that for you. See, very good trunk space. Okay. And okay, going to show you the hood. Hope I'm showing you everything. Is a continuous variable transmission. So far I've heard mixed reviews, but most of the people I have asked directly when their car is at 80,000 miles an hour or above, with older Nissans, it seems to be okay. So I was able to finance this car, got a trade-in with my 2009 Toyota Corolla that I was financing. Did a trade-in. Nissan paid it off. My monthly payments for insurance and car payments have gone up, but let's just say I would rather be in that situation than without a car. Because, you can't really sell a car for good value if it can't drive. And if you're wondering what happened to my last car, I had to replace the timing chain, and I don't think it was a good job, but at least it was a good enough job to keep the car running at least for a while. I didn't know how many miles it could go before it was beyond repair. So, okay, let's go for a little drive. First, I want to show you the features on here. So, right now the odometer reads 1,931 miles. I like it because it shows the song name and who it is. Because on my last car, I didn't have that feature, so I'd have to memorize the lyrics and then look it up and see who the performing artist was. Okay. So, let's go for a little drive. Put my seatbelt on. I believe you should always put your seatbelt on before the car is taken out of park. Roll up the windows because we're going to go on the beltway just a little bit. Navigating my way outside of the shopping center. Stop sign. Cars coming and incoming traffic does not stop according to the sign. So I'm letting that vehicle go, and then I'm turning. So far, I like how the car drives. I've saw other reviews of 2019 Nissan Sentras, and people have different preferences or different opinions on or different opinions in terms of what they like in a car. Green light. So, right now I'm going at 40 miles an hour, which is good for this speed of road. It's getting hard, so I'm going to turn on air conditioning again. I'm a pretty good defensive driver, so I look ahead to see, so I rarely have to stop suddenly. Rarely, but it happens, of course. What I do is I scan the area, see if I need to turn left or turn right, if I need to go to the shoulder of the highway, if I can't stop in time. Defensive driving, you know. Every now and then I might watch videos about defensive driving, brush up on my skills. So anyways, things are braking okay. Car's nice and quiet. Obviously makes a little noise. Obviously you can hear when the heat and the air conditioning system is on, but that's normal. It idles well. My previous car also had some idling issues, which was, in order to keep it from idling, I had to put it in neutral each time I was stopped, even for just 1 second. So in stop and go traffic, I was constantly putting it in and out of neutral, and I was like, okay, I gotta do something. So I caved in and financed a new car. It's 8 o'clock now on a Saturday morning in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. So traffic is relatively light. a truck, two vehicles in front of me. We're at 25 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour, given the truck in front of us. I'm beginning to smell the fumes. Okay, now we're going down 20 miles an hour. I would usually be going 30 on a turn onto the highway like this. But c'est la vie, that's life. A person holding a coffee cup in their hand while driving. Not safe. Either you're drinking it or you're putting it down. Okay, signaling to turn in. Mirror check, shoulder check, merge, cancel signal. So we're on the Capitol Beltway. I'm at 50 miles an hour. This car is capable of accelerating faster, but because we have a truck, two cars in front of me, the acceleration is going to be slower due to the traffic conditions. And usually I'm not one to floor it if I don't really have to. And the speed limit is 55 miles an hour, so that's what we're doing. There are cars on the side of the road. I've been noticing lately a lot of cars are pulled off to the side of the highway. I don't know what's going on. They don't seem to be occupied or attended by anyone. I don't know, maybe they got pulled over on a traffic-related charge. Or arrested, most likely, because they're not with their car, so either they're going to come back for the car or the car's headed for towing. I don't know what the issue is, but what I can definitely see is their car is pulled over to the side of the highway unattended to. I don't know what's going on. Gonna go off the interstate, so I'm signaling my intent to turn. I am now in the deceleration lane, so I am now going to slow down. It bugs me that people slow down before they get into the off-ramp lane or the deceleration lane. Plus, it states that in the Maryland driver's manual and on your quiz about that on the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration knowledge test. I got my first driver's license in Washington, D.C. and the District of Columbia, Department of Motor Vehicles road test I got in 2008 or 2009 didn't really test me much. It was basically driving around the block pretty much, and that was pretty much it. The knowledge test didn't really test that because I guess DC doesn't have any highways. Well, sort of does, but that wasn't on the test. Actually, I want to get to the right lane, signaling my intent, mirror check, shoulder check, turn, cancel signal. So now we are off the interstate and on a road with stoplights. So for me, I like this car. I like how it drives. I like how it accelerates. I like how it brakes. Um, if there's a word for the, I don't know, this car has a nice je ne sais quoi, which I like. And plus, I'm a defensive driver. I look ahead, so I don't really need to worry about hard braking. But it's good to know how the car brakes suddenly. It's good to know how your car operates in those conditions, should you be in a situation. You know, this car goes well, you know, on a hill. I mean, what I've learned is if you anticipate a hill and you see a hill and there's no people or anything obstructing the road, you know, just accelerate a little bit. My last car, definitely, you really had to floor it to, or my last car got to the point where you really had to floor it to maintain at least a constant speed, or at least not to go slow enough to impede traffic when going up a hill. So, now accelerating. I am now at 20 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour is the speed limit. I am now at 30. I could have gone faster, but I have cars in front of me. Oh, we're passing the College Park Diner. $4.95 pancake special on weekdays. We got some slow cars. We're going at 40 miles an hour now, so it's a bumpy road, and that's part, you know, of driving that you can't really control. You can only control how you drive through the bumpy area. One thing that I've been reminded of is shoulder checks. I was watching on YouTube Canada's Worst Driver, and I just remembered the importance of shoulder check, and because I've been spoiled by blind spot mirrors. But it's always good to do shoulder check. Oh, a bunch of police officers on motorcycles. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna pull into Lidl to do some grocery shopping, or at least get some breakfast. I'm gonna get into the middle turning lane. Looking at traffic in front of me, and it is safe to turn. Pulling into the parking lot. Signal I intend to turn into a spot. Put it in park. Take my foot off the brake and turn on the handbrake. Take off my seatbelt and then turn off the car. And this is the type of key you get with it. I like having an actual key because, well, you get to keep track of where your keys are and things like that. So, I hope you enjoyed that video. So far at 100 miles, 1,936 miles. So far, I recommend it. And in the spirit of back to school, we are Marshall. I would like to wish all of my friends who are still affiliated with Marshall University, who are either working on campus or who are returning to school, their undergrad, graduate, whatever the case may be at Marshall University, a happy start to the semester and to the school year. I would also like to wish good school year and semester to anyone else who's going to school or going back to school. Have a good day.